I'm Natasha Chilingarian.
I'm Michael Ogden. This is Shared Accounts with CU Time, sponsored this month by Mambu. Thanks, Mambu. Okay, big question for the group today. Here it is. What is the one piece of technology you wouldn't want to give up? And by the way, I'm not talking about plumbing or air conditioning, anything like that. I'm talking about tech and the tech we use every day and those kind of advancements. So while you guys think of your answers, I'll say this. I've been thinking about this a lot because this summer felt chaotic, and I've been kind of seeking more kind of quiet time in life, And after thinking through a lot of the tech items I have, I know this. I could easily give up my smartphone.
Really?
Now I want to keep my Sonos speakers, but I could throw away my smartphone right now. I would get a flip phone, sure, but I could do without being so connected, the way smartphones demand
Yeah.
us to be. So
Okay.
here is my pick for what technology I wouldn't want to give up. It is the reverse camera in my car.
Mm.
Oh, okay. That's very
I
That's a
specific.
good
love
one.
that thing. It makes us all a little bit safer and
Sure.
and we can see better, instead of just using mirrors. There are no blind spots back there. I love the reverse camera. That I can never do without.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it all things included, or is it just the camera? So, like, does that
just a
include?
camera.
So you aren't including like a warning sensor
All
if you're
those
getting
sensors
like,
can piss off.
okay,
I hate
okay.
those, to be blunt. Those sensors need to, it's fine, whatever. But the camera itself is awesome. I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's a good
So
one.
you talk to the sensors the way my dad would talk to my mom if we were on a long road trip?
No, I don't.
Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
No, I do not yell at the sensors. I'm just like, they can go away. I'd be fine without them. Natasha, what would you pick?
Oh gosh. I mean, well, it's funny because you're saying you could do without the smartphone. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think it would be the smartphone for me. I don't think I could do
Sure,
without it.
of
And that's
course.
because like this summer we've been living in this like such an isolated town. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
temporary thing, but just literally in the middle of nowhere. And that smartphone and internet and all
Yeah,
that
good
is
point.
literally my window to the world. Like if
Yeah,
we didn't
good point.
have that, I would just feel like I'm sitting in solitary confinement, like in a
Hmm.
prison, like in the middle of
Okay,
nowhere.
that's a
So, and
fair
it's
answer.
not
Yeah.
such a bad thing with I mean, obviously there's many negative things about it. Like social media, you could just start
Oh yeah, screw that.
Mhm.
doom scrolling and getting involved
Hmm.
in like political conversation. There's very like negative things about it,
Yeah,
but when you embrace it in a way where it just kind of feeds like your hobbies and it's
sure.
enjoyable, that
Yeah.
works. So like my Facebook feed, it's literally just like bald eagles and like cross stitch groups.
Great.
And those are very, very relaxing things that I
Yeah,
enjoy.
I
And,
like it.
then you can find out kind of what's going on. And,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
like with the cross stitch stuff, like this company has new releases of new
Hmm.
new patterns, new artwork, and just,
Yeah.
things that I find relaxing. And I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be able to do that without the connection with the smartphone and through YouTube. And
Yeah.
I watch a lot of TV on my phone as well, unfortunately. But
Okay.
I just don't know I don't know what else I would do. Like, I don't even know what I would be doing
It's a
if
great
I didn't
answer.
have it.
No. Zach,
Sadly,
what about you?
So since Natasha already said her phone,
Mm-hmm.
I will go with, and this is with the caveat that they can be connected to something.
Mm-hmm.
My wireless headphones, my AirPods,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
because as an introvert, it is invaluable to be able to just point to your ear if
Oh
someone tries to talk to you and you don't want
yeah.
to.
yeah,
Right. And those can connect to, the TV,
Yeah,
whatever. That's a great call. Very
yeah.
specific. And also a tad antisocial, which I think all three of us are.
Natasha went for her connection ability. I went for my don't talk to me
Well,
ability. So
right. I think
yes,
Natasha has the healthiest relationship to tech than all of us.
I think that's a given.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. I don't know if I would. I mean, it's healthy. Yeah, I try not to get
Healthiest.
involved in
Yeah,
things that are
healthiest.
toxic about it. I try to
Right.
avoid all that. But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, I should probably try to be a little more social in person with people once in a
Yeah,
while. But
there's that too.
again, it's just kind of a nature of the current like
Mhm.
situation we're in, and that'll hopefully change.
Yeah.
But
All right. Good.
I don't know. I don't hate it. I really don't know what I'd do without it, unfortunately.
No, these are wonderful answers. I love them. And I appreciate all the nerds out there listening. Hey, nerds, welcome to Shared Accounts with CU Times. Coming up, we are chatting with Dale Watkins. He is Chief Information Officer at Max Credit Union down in Alabama. He was so nice. We really had a good time with him. First up, though, before we get to that chat, let's take a break from the week. Check in with Natasha. Hey, Ann.
Hey, Em.
How are you?
I'm okay. Can't complain. You know,
Good. You know what? We're doing a
yeah.
Monday record, which is throwing
Yeah.
me a little bit.
It is. Yeah, I was going to say, it's different. It's like we usually do them later in the week. Yeah, it feels different. It feels, I don't know, like I feel like you have a different vibe on Monday. You're like, it's down to business vibe or something.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And it's also late in the day, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
I still have some work to do.
But
I wanted to ask you, what have you been watching?
Well, I had another lovely weekend of watching trash, I guess. You know, another true crime marathon. But one thing I watched separate from that, not any less trashy by any means, but I watched the 2-part documentary on Netflix about Charlie Sheen.
Oh, how was that?
I was really fascinated by it. You know, I mean, the guy clearly, what a hot mess. I mean, the hot mess express. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I remember vaguely I know like 2.5 Men. I remember my parents loved that show for some reason. I don't know. They just watched it every day. It was an interesting refresher of kind of all that stuff that was going on in the 2000s. And it was just so weird revisiting it. And just kind of remembering, well, that was a different time. That was when, the media cared so much about what celebrities were doing and if they were unhinged, or, because Charlie Sheen, obviously, he just had this crazy time where he went on, this tour of, and, I don't even know what it was. It was just of him, ranting and, being drunk and, I don't even know what it was about, but he, kept posting on Twitter, I'm winning, that. But I don't know. I was like, what was that all about? And I guess it was just about him being, losing it, whatever. But yeah, it reminded me of that time period where the media cared so much about what celebrities were doing, because it seemed like we didn't really have this real problems like the world has more now with other big things. Right. I don't know if you got that sense too, but
yeah, I mean, I think it was just different priorities back then. I think we had the problems, but we were just ignoring them with celebrities.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, it was kind of the rise. TMZ and tabloids and. Anyway,
what did he have? Tiger blood? Wasn't that the thing?
He said, "Yeah, I've got tiger blood. I can survive anything." But yeah, it's someone that you're shocked that he is alive. You're like, this guy really should not be alive right now.
He really messed up a lot of people's lives, actually.
Yeah, and it seemed like he got off so easy with everything. He just came off as this, just this massive nepo baby, obviously, who just kind of could just do whatever he wanted, and he had this big group of people coming to his rescue, and there were never any consequences at all. I don't know. So anyway, that was my take. But it was an interesting watch. That's anyways, so what did you watch? I'm sure it was something more sophisticated than me as usual.
No, listen, Natasha, you do you, I do me, and the garbage you bring, I think, is hilariously interesting.
Oh, thank you.
It's a perspective I'm not diving into, but I am happy to hear about it. When you bring it up.
Okay, we'll bringing different things in.
Yeah, good. I watched. Oh yeah, one of my favorite directors, if not my favorite director, Park Chan-wook. This is a movie he did back in 2013 called Stoker.
Stoker.
If you're interested, it's on Amazon Prime. It's his one and only English film. He is Korean.
Oh, okay.
And who's in it? Mia Wachowski. You would recognize her. Nicole Kidman's in it.
Oh.
Matthew Good. It's a really messed up family drama, crazy thing. And it's just a really fun watch. And I love Park Chan-wook and how he shoots things. He's just so creative. The story was a little weird. It was a little hard to follow, but the cinematography was outstanding.
Okay.
So I gave it 4 stars.
All right. No, I had
Stoker.
never heard of that. I mean, I know a lot of good things come out of Korea for as far as film and TV.
Yeah, he has a new movie coming out. It just
Oh.
premiered at a festival. He's the guy who did Old Boy, Natasha.
Oh, we did? Oh, okay. Well, there we go. That was, as listeners will recall if they follow us, that was a fun conversation on the pod.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at Stoker now, the description. It does sound complicated.
It is complicated.
It says, after India's father dies in an auto accident, her uncle Charlie, who she never knew existed, comes to live with her and her emotionally unstable mother.
Yep.
Then she comes to suspect this mysterious, charming man has ulterior motives. But instead of feeling outrage or horror, this friendless girl becomes increasingly infatuated with him. Okay, that's...
it's such a strange movie, but it is actually pretty great at the same time. It's an odd movie, but I recommend it.
I like odd. Odd is good.
4 stars. Stoker.
Awesome.
It's on Amazon by Park Chan-wook.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on to our interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was fun. I love bringing on credit union people, and specifically like credit union tech people. I think we've had a few CIOs, CTOs on, and I always like to just kind of get in there and hear how their brains work, because they have some pretty big brains with having to handle that, and they have their hands in so many things. So yeah, Dale down in Alabama, he has been working in credit union technology for about 2 decades. So yeah, long time, obviously seen many changes to the tech industry throughout the years. So a few things that I thought were interesting. One was, talks about why his approach to innovation hasn't changed much, despite the many changes to technology over the years, how it's kind of still the same concept at its heart. And then also goes into how his credit union, Max Credit Union, they got real creative within a specific product area. There are these targeted member offers. Talks about how they were able to really create efficiency, save a lot of money, apparently, on not having to work with like a big vendor on it. But yeah, kind of created their own thing. He delves into that. That was really interesting. Finally, Dale and you, Michael, nerd out big time about your marching band experiences.
Yes, we did.
That was kind of a fun way to conclude the interview.
For the first time on this show, a guest hums their college, university.
And that was a highlight. Yes.
It was really
He did a great job. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, we're going to learn about that, obviously. But thanks for bringing that up, Natasha.
No problem. Lots of fun. We have all of those things and a lot more coming up next.
Hey everybody, this episode is sponsored by Mambu, the world's only true SaaS cloud core banking platform. Now in the US, Mambu's composable approach works like building blocks, independent components that can be assembled to meet your goals and your members' needs. This gives credit unions agility to integrate with fintechs, freedom from vendor lock-in, and control to roll out new products on your terms. Because in today's world, standing means falling behind. So true. With Mambu, you can deliver the solutions your members deserve. Learn more at mambu.com. That is MAMBU.com. Thanks, Mambu.
Joining us in the virtual studio today is Dale Watkins. He is the Chief Information Officer over at Max Credit Union. Hey, Dale, welcome to Shared Accounts.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining. And Dale, just real quick, where are you based out of?
Max is based out of Montgomery, Alabama. We service a little bit of central Alabama, Montgomery and Auburn.
Nice. Very nice, yeah.
How's
Great.
the weather there right now?
It's warm, but it's not too humid. So it's bearable right now. Wasn't a couple of weeks ago, though, so good timing.
It's that time of year.
Fall is on the way. Yeah, I bet you're excited about that.
Yep.
Okay, so Dale, let's get right into it here. It sounds like you've spent nearly 2 decades working in credit union technology. So wanted to just hear a little bit about you and your background. What kind of first drew you into this field, looking back about 2 decades ago?
Just like most people in IT, I had a knack for playing with computers. I did a side hustle building computers for a while I was doing other jobs and other things and in school. So at one point I just decided, I like doing this as a hobby. Why don't I get paid to do this? So that's why I kind of started to go to school for that instead of what I was doing. And so it kind of took me from fixing copiers and small business equipment before the credit union years. And that evolved into network infrastructure and security. And then with just solving problems and creating efficiencies pretty much. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So as a follow-up to that, how would you say, because obviously technology is something that's constantly changing. We've seen so many changes, like from a credit union and a banking perspective as well over the few last decades here. So many evolutions. Just looking over, your time in the credit union field, how do you think your approach to innovation has evolved over the years, like with so many changes coming along over time?
My basic approach to innovation over the years hasn't really changed, even though the technology on top of it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? You have an issue, you need to solve it. So what do? You take the wants and needs of the issue, what needs to be done, and then you go find your solution. That's pretty much on a basic level. That's what innovation is. And so, no matter how complicated the solution is, it's always a need something, go get something type situation for me.
Exactly. Can I go back to a thing you pointed out about fixing computers, that job?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? What was the worst computer? Like you saw it and you're like, well, dude, these computers suck.
Well, there's always the ones, I don't know what it is about roaches, but there's always the ones, roaches, I think it may be the mercury that's on the circuit board, the motherboards. When you get the ones that have been in dusty closet corners, those always have bugs in them. And so that always creeps me out. So.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to move on from that because I hate Okay, Dale, let me ask you this.
Okay.
You've emphasized, technology should be purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the research about you, that it should be purposeful and member focused. Can you kind of share that philosophy and how it shapes your decisions at Max?
Sure. And that's a philosophy we all share here at Max and probably at most credit unions. It's got to be member focused. The member is the purpose for everything that we do. So our decisions have to be anchored on the features that we're trying to deliver to the member that will help them, or how it allows us to service the member more efficiently and create those smoother experiences. Because at the end of the day, we want them to think about us when they need financial services. So it always circles back to how does this thing that I want or want to do help the member either directly or indirectly?
Of course. That makes perfect sense.
So to expand on that a bit, and I find this really interesting, when you think about what are the members expecting today, like when it comes to digital banking, whether it's on their desktop or on their mobile app, what kind of experience and features and things like that do you think the members are expecting today? I know we hear a lot about, it needs to be like Amazon or it needs to be like, just very frictionless. So yeah, what would you say that is from your perspective? And then how is Max working to meet those expectations?
Members and end users, they want it quick and easy. Members expect their apps to be as easy to use as all the other apps on their phone. It's always been a stigma of financial institution apps that they're slow, they're clunky and all that. So, but the member is not comparing their experience from our app to other banking apps like Wells and Chase, who are, they're historically slow in loading. But they're comparing their experience with all of the other apps that they use on a daily basis, like Facebook, X, Instagram, Snapchat, all those other ones that they pick up, they tap it and they use it. And so for us, we have to balance our experience and balance that experience and partner with vendors that follow the same thought pattern. And so that's what we try to do, just partner with the best vendors that's going to get the quickest, the most modern experience for the user.
Can I ask about, again, I was looking at your website, I was reading some articles about Max and you, and I was looking at this thing it's a digital storefront called My Offers. Can you explain what that is and how you brought this idea to life?
Sure. That idea, it came from it was the genesis of Wendy, our chief lending officer, Lynette, our chief growth officer, and I having conversations about cross-selling and serving up the next best product for the member. I know that's been a buzzword for a few years, next best product. So yeah. So of course there's tons of vendors out there that we looked at to do this in one way or another, and they're costly. They're very expensive, 6 figures minimum. And so my opinion was that all of these vendors are going to take data from us to process and then display offers to our members. Well, we already have the data that they're going to use. So really all we needed to do was workshop guardrails for the next product suggestions. Then our warehouse team worked out how to pull the data out of the warehouse. Our development team worked with marketing on how to display those options to the member online to make it easy. And then we kind of closed that loop by sending the accepted offers back into our existing LOS through the use of some APIs. So there's no additional work on staff. The applications and offers are being delivered through their normal route, not through a third-party site. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so multiple teams and planning and having vendors that were just flexible enough to allow us to come up with creative solution there.
Just flexible enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how long has that been rolled out, the My Offers?
Well, over a year, I think. I can't remember what.
Okay.
Yeah, everything flies by so fast, and we had a digital banking conversion too. So that always makes it's like the COVID time period. It kind of shrunk our feeling of time and space.
Right,
It's everything
absolutely.
seems to. So within the last couple of years.
Okay. So, well, I was curious, what kind of results, I guess, have you seen from that so far? Or like any feedback from members, or like what have you gotten out of it, and what's the impact been, would you say, of that launch?
Yeah, so there have been a few benefits after this was launched. The first one, of course, was the cost. We didn't have to invest that huge sum of money into this program. And there's no ongoing cost, no service, no maintenance fees, because we're leveraging modules that we already had within our LOS to do that part of it. We already had the data. So there's really no ongoing service or maintenance costs with it, right? And then if we need to tweak the criteria or algorithms or any of that, it's just us. We're not opening a ticket with the vendor, going through that whole project management thing that you normally have to go through with those vendors. And so, in branch, now the employees didn't have to go to a different third-party site to see their members' offers. They can just view the offers within the same origination system they use to open the account. So it's just right there in front of them.
Can I ask you, though,
Sure.
what did your CEO think of all this?
I mean, he thought it was great. He'd been, working with us, trying to get us to figure this out, which is the whole nexus for the conversations between me, Wendy, and Lynette, to come up with some sort of solution. So he thought it was great. We were able to do it in-house. We saw a 60% increase in the number of submissions year over year, and with funding amounts of over 138% more. So a decent jump in per submission dollars. And the in branch was significantly more, like 400%. So it was huge.
Good.
And I think it's, we made it more efficient at the branch level, but also made it more relevant at the member level.
Okay. Well, I can see why your CEO would be happy.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You also believe in personalization, that it really plays a big role in modern banking. How is Max using data analytics right now to securely deliver, the products and services that you want out there for your members?
Yeah, and similar with the My Offers solution, the biggest key to bringing those personalization experiences and recommendations tailored to each member is through having access to data. A lot of people have these huge databases and troves of data, but they don't provide access to it, or it's really gatekept. And so we've had an ongoing partnership between our data warehouse team and our marketing teams, and we've really focused on delivering meaningful dashboards and reporting to all business units, all data units. And so data is just one of those journeys that never ends. But we feel like we do a pretty good job at providing access to data to the teams that need it. It could be through dashboards or scheduled emails.
Yeah.
So when the report comes in, though, we always look at it through the lens of how can we make this request self-service in the future? Do we need to train them on how to access it and have it provide ongoing value instead of just a one-off report that we, run and done?
Right. Can I ask a follow-up on that really quick?
Sure.
Our audiences are always very interested in how you pull off things like this. I wanted to ask, can you share like your staff levels? Like how many people are working under you and on these projects roughly?
Normally, I have a data warehouse team of 3.
Okay.
They're the ones that they're data warehouse. That's really all you got to say. Everything that has to do with that.
Yeah.
I have a small development team of 4.
Okay.
They kind of help to bring those solutions to light, going from concept to clickable things on either a website or something internal to our core system.
Yeah.
So there's 4 there. And, a couple of project management people here.
Mhm.
Lynette on market. I don't know how many she has over in her team, but she's got 3 or 4 with her team. But one is really primarily focused, and I work with her a lot on our digital offerings. And so we really partner a lot to
Right.
kind of make that happen.
Yeah, I'd like to call out these teams because these are the people doing the heavy
Oh,
lifting.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Good job,
Yeah,
team.
good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that just as a follow up to our talking about my offers. I mean, that's great that you got to save so much money. That's something we don't always think about. We see,
Mhm.
Oh,
you do different vendors, like, oh, I guess they're working with them. You're working with them. You never think about, like, oh, how much is that actually costing and which
mhm.
credit unions can and but anyway, it sounds like you found a really great solution to be efficient and keep it in house and that it's working well. So that's awesome. But let's go ahead and switch gears. So, another big topic I'm sure is on your mind a lot as the chief technology officer, cybersecurity. So, as your digital offerings expand, Max, obviously there's cybersecurity threats. Those are things every credit union has to think about. One thing we wanted to ask you about is how do you balance like making sure that the services are seamless and convenient and that you have the member trust, but then also protecting members from cybersecurity threats? Do you see having to balance those two concepts quite a bit?
Yeah, you really do. But there's really one big key. I was thinking through this, one big key to this whole question. And that's a big question. So
I know.
even though it can be painful at times, let's be honest, an effective vendor management plan and process is very important. So if the solution you're delivering is not something you have engineered yourself, then those vendor due diligence checklists are important. And holding the line when a vendor does not meet that criteria is key. So even if you like
Mhm.
the shiny race car, if they don't fit your security requirements, you need to find one that will. And that's the only way you can really protect your members' information if you're integrating third parties. You've got to do everything you can to make sure that they're protecting the data that they have access to also. And that's part of your whole vendor management process.
Of course.
Good
Mhm.
point.
Can I ask about, you seem to have kind of your hands in all the right places here, and you've got a really cool team taking care of a lot of stuff. How do you, Dale, foster, innovation within your team? How do you do that?
I don't say no. And
Okay.
yeah, many times, I guess it boils down to when somebody comes to me with an idea, or I have sometimes I have crazy ideas and I go to them and I always
Mhm.
lead with, all right, so I have a crazy idea. So listen to me. So we always workshop details. And the big thing is getting the stakeholders' wants and needs. It's one thing I've always been key on, getting wants and needs, and then look at existing and potential vendor capabilities to really dig into how to make their idea go from point A to point B with their needs intact and maybe some wants, right? So I'll try to come up with a plan for A. I always do multiple plans, plan A, plan B, plan C, or more,
Yeah.
That's
depending on how
Yeah. Yeah.
complicated it can be. And I ignore my limitations of my current vendors. I don't think about that. And I don't think about limitations of in-house talent either, because let's figure out how we can get to the solution first, and then we'll figure out from a talent and from a vendor standpoint how do we get there. And then, let's figure out the solution and the cool way of doing it first. And so
Yeah.
I'll give them a plan A that's great. It has all of their wants and needs, or as many of their wants as I can give them, and maybe some automation, and then we'll have plan B and plan C. We always got to sit down and talk about the net new cost, though, for each of these cool new plans. And so we'll sit down, review all that info, and figure out which one we want to go down with the stakeholder.
And this is how the idea of my offers came to
Pretty
be.
much. Yep.
Okay.
nice.
I
Okay.
like a boss that doesn't say no. That's
Yeah.
fun.
That gives
Yeah.
them quite a bit of freedom, huh? Yeah, they can really.
It's funny. Our chief growth officer, when I first got here and we started having conversations, and she would always start with, "Do you think I can?" And I would say, "The world is yours. Just tell me what you want, and I'll see if I can give it to you."
Right. See,
Yeah.
Dale, we need more Dale in our
We
lives.
need that, yeah. Okay, so let's kind of expanding on that concept of new things, expanding innovation and all that. In your role at Max and you're with your team, of course, what are you currently looking at as what you think might be maybe the most transformative for credit unions in the next 5 years? Like kinds of technologies like, with AI, of course, maybe open banking, digital ID verification, some concepts like that. What are you kind of looking ahead to right now as a focus?
Yeah, I would say the biggest one, hopefully for everybody, is I'll go with the 2-letter acronym. That's a 4-letter word for some people, AI.
Yeah.
And so, open banking is pretty big too, and that's more of a vendor partnership than anything. But AI is a corporate strategy, in my opinion. So I feel like it's going to have huge impacts with not only AI and usage of LLMs to be able to provide insightful service to members, but it will really ratchet up the efficiency and automation in the back office environments too. I think that's where we're going to see the biggest impact first. Because regulators are, they're working to catch up a little bit, and they're going to want to put guardrails on us as institutions when it comes to making finance decisions and to ensure everything is fair and transparent. And we get that.
Right.
That's cool. It needs to be fair and transparent. The regulators are going to kind of be the throttle on that part.
Right.
So that piece is harder, but we'll get there. But agentic AI is here, and we can't be scared as an industry to implement it where it makes sense, of course, or you may be left behind. So you have to be smart. You have to do it securely, but you have to do it as an official institutional strategy. Because if you say, no, don't do that, your employees are going to do it anyway. And you'll lose that control, security, and visibility you need to implement it responsibly. And so, as we grow and mature in this whole new AI environment, we'll get better. But you, like the listener, you should have already started figuring this out at your institution, in my opinion, because it's a big thing.
Yeah, just at Max Credit Union, where are you currently at with your use of AI as far as like the back office, efficiencies? I know we have heard that quite a bit actually as a really important use for credit unions. Is it something you're still exploring, or do you actually have like a policy in place around AI for employees, or where are you kind of at with that?
Yes, we do. We've got our AI acceptable use policies and all of that in place. We had that in about a year ago. So we've had that in place. We're piloting some programs with Copilot because Copilot, with everybody being in Microsoft, Copilot is the natural fit to kind of tack on. You got to do the Copilot license though. There's free Copilot out there, but you've got to do the Copilot license if you want your data safe and secure, if you want it siloed. And we're also looking at, from a cybersecurity perspective, additional, automated tools that will help with DLP, data loss prevention, to make sure that, even though it's Copilot, we're doing the thing, making sure that people aren't putting sensitive information in there, and make sure they're not putting them in one of the other Chat GPT, Gemini, all those others, making sure they're not doing that as well. So we're doing that. We've looked at some various AI tools that are offered by vendors. But one of the biggest things that we're doing is we created our own AI chatbot internally that is hosted internally and everything. No data leaves the credit union. And we have it watching our Salesforce professional documentation, like our training documentation. So it's looking at that. It's looking at our HR policies and everything. So when an employee needs information, they can go to the AI chatbot and find it a lot faster. We've been on Salesforce for over 10 years. You know how gross that data directory looks like? So having something that can really parse through that real easily has been beneficial, and they love it.
You guys named the chatbot?
Did we name it? No, we didn't give it some quirky name.
Okay.
They named Ben for we have incoming voice for incoming voice calls, and he's AI. He'll authenticate you and do all the stuff. And they named him Ben. Not real sure where that came from, but
Okay.
because it really doesn't have anything to do with Max.
Not
But
ask the question. Okay, great.
I remember years ago, we've already used Maxine because that's what they used to call our ATMs when they first came out, like in the 80s.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Well,
Maxine, yeah. So trying to recycle all those names, I guess.
Last question here before we move on to the second part. What advice would you give other credit union leaders that are in similar positions who want to leverage tech to strengthen member relationships or just stay competitive?
Yeah, I would say 3 points here. Stay open to new technology and thinking outside of the box. Because even if your first response is doubt and unsurety, try harder. Just find a way. That's one of our mottos here at Max is we've got it in our tile floor. It says find a way. And that could be applied to many aspects, but find a way to make things happen. There's not many times over my 20 years or so where I haven't been able to figure out a way to get something done. And even if it involves learning something new, don't be scared to do that. So that's the first one. The second one, staying up to date, listening to podcasts, and heck, use AI to summarize what's going on in the world and turn it into a podcast. If you've never used Notebook LM at Google, it's fantastic. You can put sources in there and turn it into an audio podcast. And that way, when you're driving to work, I mean, there's tons of audio podcasts out there, but maybe there's not any that is around financial services. But you can make your own podcast just by referencing articles and, keywords. So it's pretty cool. Check that out. So yeah, staying up to date. And then the last one is a hard one. I will admit, I don't practice what I preach all the time on this one. So don't stay in your roots. And what I mean by that is we all came up through different areas of the credit union. For CIOs, it's usually infrastructure, software, or security. So don't be scared to dip into the areas you normally don't. Sure. You've got to know where your limitations are. And if you have blind spots in your tech stack, then that's the only way you're going to know how to come up with innovative solutions is to know where your limitations are and your capabilities. So just kind of get out of your comfort zone sometimes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I like those 3 points.
Yeah, that's definitely an important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, Dale. Well, now it's time to move on to part 2 of the interview. This is really fun because it is going to be all about you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like Michael, you were excited to ask this first question.
I'm very excited about this. Yeah. I'm doing some research on you, Dale. Just mild, light research. I saw you went to college at University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Yep.
So just north of where you are right now. Mm-hmm. Did you, in fact, play in the marching band?
I did. I played for...
have to tell us more.
3 years in the marching band. I also did 2 years in basketball pep band and 1 in the concert band. But most fun was marching band and basketball band, of course, by far. And
what did you play?
I played trumpet.
Okay.
I played for all through middle school and high school. I will say, if anybody has a kid that wants to pick up an instrument or something, please let them, because marching band really gave me some opportunities to go places that I never would have gotten the opportunity to go, even now. I mean, some of the places we went in high school even went to London, England, and played in a New Year's Day parade.
Lucky.
New Year's Day parade in London, so it was cold.
Oh, yeah.
So we did a parade in Montreal. I never would have been able to do that if it wasn't for band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Marching band, I loved every second of it when I was in it, and I decided to bail when I was in college.
See, in college, we were UAB. It was our first years in Division 1A at that time. And so it was our first year there. And so really the band, we didn't have a big budget. So they only let us go to one away game a year. So I did get to go to Blacksburg, Virginia for a Virginia Tech game when they were at their height. That was a cool experience. And then we went to play Vanderbilt in Nashville when they had that bright green carpet. I don't know if you remember the old turf.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Very bouncy. Very bouncy. I thought I was going to trip.
Last question. What's the fight song for UAB?
For UAB? I haven't sung that thing in 20 years. I cannot do it. It's their own thing.
I didn't look it up, and I should have.
Dun, 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 dun. I could probably hum it, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I don't know the words. Dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Fight dun 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 dun. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for playing.
That is
marching
fun.
Band is awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody should do it if you can.
I agree.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Okay. No, I was just curious, Dale, do you ever play now, or do you still own a trumpet, or is that just something you left in the past?
I did leave it in the past. Okay. I picked it up about 10 years ago, which would have been probably 10 years after the last time I played. And it sounded like I was in middle school again. So I was like, I don't have the time or the energy, and my neighbors don't have the patience to hear me get back up to speed. Sure. I kind of wish I would have dabbled in it. I know my mom would have liked for me to have kept dabbling in it a little bit. So
yeah, it's just one of those things, that you don't have the time for all those activities when you're an adult, have responsibilities, unfortunately. But
that's right.
Well, let's go back to Alabama again. We talked a little bit, actually, at the top of the interview about how summer was very humid, finally cooling down. So obviously it can be very brutally hot and sticky during the summer. My question is this: what is the best frozen dessert to have during those months to cool off with?
Well, I am a Dairy Queen Blizzard fan, and it's Dairy Queen Blizzard or bust. If I'm going in somewhere going through a drive-through, that's it. Dairy Queen Blizzard or bust. I like all of the chocolate chips. I like the peanut butter. I like everything. But my favorite is going to Cold Stone Creamery. I don't know if y'all have that up there,
Oh,
but
sure.
any of those
Yeah,
marble
yeah.
slab type creameries where they just mash a bunch of stuff and put it in a cup. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so good. God, I haven't had any of that stuff.
I
in so
haven't
long.
had it in so
Yeah.
long either, but it sounds. I know whenever I see a commercial for like a Blizzard, like I never. It's just something I never. I don't know. Just don't go get those. But you see it and you're like, oh, that looks so good. I wish I
And
had
it
like a good
is.
excuse to go get one. But
And it is good. Yep.
yeah.
By the way, our crack research producer, Zach, looked it up. Dale, it is called the UAB fight song.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, listed on Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, music question for you. Dale, what was the first album, CD, cassette, piece of music you ever bought or remember listening to?
Okay, so this is going to be the most Gen X thing you're going to hear today, right? So I had made a little bit of money cutting yards and
Okay.
cleaning up my dad's shop, and so I was. It was 1993, and I bribed my sister into driving to a Turtles in Tuscaloosa. Turtles was a tape store you could buy, sell, used, all that, and she bought me the Snoop Dogg doggy style tape
Nice.
because I couldn't buy it because I wasn't old enough.
Of course.
Oh,
Because it was rated whatever the rating was back then, the
Explicit,
NC-17 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tipper.
So that was the first one I technically bought with my money because I gave it to my sister to buy for me.
That is just like
Great
standing
story.
outside of a 7-Eleven to get somebody to buy beer for you.
Yes.
Basically, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, great answer. I don't think anybody's ever given that.
I don't think so. I love that. Yeah, we don't get too many. We often get a lot of classic rock but yeah, we often don't get rap hip hop, which I love. That
No,
was my
right.
area. Well, that's
It's
more
so
my
good.
area, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you to your sister.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right. And Dale, final question today. This is, we always like to end with this question. What was the last movie that you watched?
We watched the new Superman movie a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
It was very good.
What'd you think? Would you recommend it?
I would recommend. Yeah, it's definitely a different tone and different take.
Mhm.
Still, but while still staying true to the comic books, according to people that read that stuff. And and so it was good. I like James Gunn. I like what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. So I like his style, and I think it fit very well. I'm excited to see because he's supposed to be doing all of these DC movies coming up. So it's going to be good to see.
Yeah. What did you think of the whole color palette? How bright it was.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and the biggest difference was because we were so used to Zack Snyder's like muted, grays and dark blues. I thought it was refreshing, to say the least.
Just like a Dairy Queen Blizzard.
That's right.
Perfect full circle moment there. Love it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Dale Watkins, Chief Information Officer at Max Credit Union. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. I had a good time. Thank y'all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I want to sing that theme song or fight song. Thank you, Dale.
We might keep a clip of you humming that and use it in future podcasts. We don't know.
If we can find a file of it, maybe we can insert it.
That'd be fun.
As the end tag for the show. That'll be
There you go.
Yeah, we'll see what we
Thank
can
you
do.
so much, Dale.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And to all of our listeners, thank you for downloading today's show. Please subscribe to Shared Accounts with CU Times and all the normal podcast places. And please share the episodes with your coworkers, friends, relatives you like, relatives you don't like as well. Please just share it.
Former band members, whatever.
Yeah. There you go.
Feel free to rate us too, 5 stars. We love that so much. Thank you to our sponsor this month, Mambu. Check them out at mambu.com. That is mambu.com. Thanks, Mambu. As always, thank you so much to our producer, Zach Nyheisel. Thanks, Zach. Join us again next week for a new episode of Shared Accounts with CU Times. Until then, thanks for listening.